Hi there. So I want to talk to you today about commercial wheelie bin cleaning that I just think it's astonishing. And even after nearly 20 years of doing it still really gets to me how the scope of it is just incredible. And that goes for just the quantity of stuff out there that there is to do. And not only that, the quantity of the hoops you have to jump through to get to the position you want to be in. And the best way I can describe it is, it's like you can tell I've been doing commercial stuff all week and tomorrow, and I just really like doing it. It has its own rewards, and I'll go over those in a bit. But the best way I can describe it is it's like being dropped in the middle of a jungle with no map, no compass, no GPS. You've never been there before, you've got no supplies, you've got no guidance, and you know somewhere is like a big treasure, but the chances of you getting there, it's just really quite small. So let's have a look at it in order, really. So the first thing is you've got to target the right customer, and that's quite specific to the person. If you don't target the right customer for you, that is so much time wasted, because there's not an infinite amount of different businesses out there, but there's a hell of a lot of different types of businesses, and some just aren't going to suit the hours you want to do, the money you want to earn, the commitments that you might have to make to that business. So one big thing is targeting the right customer for you. We know how to get the most profitable customers, and that's in terms of efficiency, time, types of bins, how dirty those bins are going to be, how easy they are to actually clean, and that's even in terms of literally how dirty are those bins going to be, and also have you got enough room within that business to clean them. So the next thing is pricing. That's a win or lose thing as well, because what do you compare it to? How do you know how long it's going to take to do those bins, to get there, to pull up? Is there going to be easy access? So many things you've got to consider within your pricing, and with having nearly 20 years doing it, it comes from targeting the right customers. Then the pricing becomes a bit easier. So that's step one and step two, and we can obviously help you with that. So then you get the pricing. So say you've got those first two things right, then you've got the paperwork. So we'll talk about two things. We'll talk about the paperwork, the red tape, if you like, and then the contract itself. So the red tape. So I'm sure this gets worse every year, but there's the company that you might be working for, there's their in-house health and safety that you might have to go through. There's your own health and safety processes that they will want to see. There's method statements, risk assessments, specific insurances. Now, these aren't run-of-the-mill insurances. You might have your own insurance that covers you for most things, but then the company may want something specific. So again, that's something we can help with. There's environmental policy. The company will want to see your environmental policy. They'll probably have your own that you've got to adhere to as well. So as an example of that, I think our smallest contract, which is actually our most lucrative contract, we have a contract with them, and it's their in-house contract. And I believe the last one we had, which because it renews in April, and that is 8 or 9 double-sided pages of small print. And for me, being the boss, the buck stops with me, doesn't it? So if anyone goes out there who I'm responsible for, then I have to read through everything on those contracts. And again, that's something we can help you with. So all that red tape, yes, there is a lot of it, and yes, you can get swamped by it, but again, we've done it. And we can certainly help you with it to such a point that it's just literally, we'll show you exactly what you need. We have templates of everything that can be adapted, and you just tick them off. And it's rather than being overwhelmingly complex, it's just simple. It just needs a bit of time, and you'll get through it. So yes, I think that's about it for red tape. I think there's one more. It might be, some companies might have a service provider assessment form. I think one of our contracts has that. Anyway, we can show you that. Next thing is the contract. So as I've just mentioned, some companies will have their own contract. You've got to adhere to it. Now, you can in turn have your own contract, and we have that. So there are some companies who won't have that kind of contract. So we have our own. It's legitimate, and it's been signed off and approved by a solicitor. So it just is going to be adapted to your franchise that you have with us. And again, we can take you through every step of that. And then that's, so you can see that part of the route through the jungle is just one that you haven't even cleaned a bin at this stage. And one thing I don't think I have mentioned is, yes, to do with the pricing is, when do you get paid? Because some of these firms, it could take you months to get paid, but we do not work like that. Our average is 2 weeks, and most fair-sized companies will have payment runs throughout the month. So if you hand your invoice in, you'll just hit the next payment run. But that's all about speaking to the right person to get it done. And also, that's reminding me, going back to the targeting of the customers, not only is the type of business significant to your success doing commercial wheelie bin cleans, but one of the other advantages that we can give you, one of the many that we can give you, is to do with the experience, and that is, it's targeting the right person within the right firm. So we go to that level of analysis, and that's a big deal, because, and this has definitely happened to us, we have spoken to one person in a firm and they have said, no, we don't need commercial wheelie bin cleaning. Spoken to another person in the same firm and they've said, yes, we've been looking for someone for ages. So it's a big difference. It'll make a big difference to your success, knowing that in-depth knowledge about company structure and who it'll be that you need to speak to, and also timescales and things like that. So now, if by some miracle you do this on your own and you get to this stage, so you've done all the paperwork, you've got the pricing, you've got that right, targeted the right person, done the paperwork, got the contract all done, and then you go. Then you come on to hit rate, what I call hit rate, and that is your success at doing a site completely. So for example, say one site has 10 bins, you need to have a good hit rate, because there's no point you going and doing 2 at a time. You need to do them all, which is virtually impossible, because if there's different types of bins, they'll get emptied on different days. So your hit rate and your efficiency of knowing when you should be going, because like the residential bins, you want to go when they're emptied, but that is virtually impossible. So over the years, we've devised our own system of how to keep that hit rate high, and it is very successful. So I'll give you a good example. I've been still makes me laugh, but all week except for Monday I've been doing commercial cleans, and that's because I just fancied doing a whole week, because I'll be out tomorrow, and then that'll free me up for the next 3 weeks. So that's another reward of doing these commercial cleanings, the commercial wheelie bin cleans. If you do it right, is the flexibility you can give yourself is really high. Now, I would say every single one of those things I've talked about, targeting customers, red tape, contracts, pricing, hit rate, if you do one of those things wrong, it's going to mean the difference between failing and succeeding. They cannot be underestimated, and without a shadow of a doubt. And we have done this so many times and for so long. We can guide you through that jungle, get you to that treasure really quickly, and it is well worth it. Now, another great example is our biggest contract is coming up to being 10 years old. When we speak to our commercial customers, there's one thing that comes out the most, which is two things, actually, is reliability. So someone always sees us because we're that reliable. And there's another little secret as well that we do with commercial cleans, that if you're a franchisee of ours, it's just a brilliant thing. And that is one of the reasons why we keep these customers so long. So we'll have a quick recap. So any one of these aspects, if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to lead you to either make a significant loss or waste incredible amounts of time for you. That we have done all that hard work for you. We can take you straight to that treasure and get every single one of those bits right for you. So all those aspects are taken care of with us. So the targeting, the red tape, the pricing, the contract, and then, and not least, hit rate. That's massive. Hit rate is. So yeah, I think I mean I could carry on for hours about commercial cleaning, but that'll do for now because it can get a bit overwhelming. So on to the next week. Have a good week.